Hey, my dear Loquillos, how are you? How are you? Here we are. Here we are at our English presentation. And why it's so important to say that it's an English presentation because all of you will need to speak in English to understand this speaker that I am really excited to introduce to you. Okay, so who I am? I'm Mr. Loquillo, or you can call me Billy Garcia. That's my real name. That's my real name? Because this is Billy Garcia, alias or known as well, Mr. Loquillo. Okay, so my nose it's hurted about that helmet, but okay, let's go. Who is here? She is one of a kind consultant from Malaysia. She is in the other side of the world and she is in her time for sleep here with you. So let's welcome Elizabeth Ho. How are you, my dear Elizabeth?
Hello, good evening, and thank you, Mr. Garcia, for this opportunity to be, in your platform.
I
Thank you
love
so
it.
much.
I love that. Mr. Garcia, I will call myself Mr. Garcia after this. So Elizabeth, sorry for having you awake at this time for you. It's good morning for you.
Yeah,
It's
it's good morning. It's almost 2:30 a.m. in Malaysia.
yes, it's
Yeah.
Malaysia, and tell us more about you. Well, you got in your presentation more of you, but well, maybe one question after in starting this talk. What do
All
you
right.
feel? What do you feel this evening to having guests and viewers from Mexico, Bolivia, Colombia, Peru? I know that you went international some years ago, but today, inside the Masters, it's international thanks to you. So, what do you feel about this?
I'm feeling excited and definitely honored to be in your platform, as I mentioned, and I can't wait to connect with your audience today. And I especially request that, you just use the chat and connect with me. If you have any question at all, just type on the chat, and I would love to answer to all your questions.
Sure, sure, sure. And let me tell you that this is your home. You got a home here in Mexico, and I think that everywhere that we can possibly have a speaker, you got a home with us. Okay,
Thank
so
you so much.
welcome. You are a loquillo for now, and this scenario it's all yours. I'm out, and let's rock this out. Okay, see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, once again, I want to say selamat datang, apa khabar? That is welcome and how are you in Bahasa Malaysia? And that is our national language in Malaysia. So, right now, I am logging in. Connecting with all of you from Malaysia, and I'm residing in the island of Penang. So I am so excited today. So let me share my screen and just a little bit about myself. I would like to share and introduce myself to all of you. Today, I will be sharing on the topic of creating an image that sells worldwide, not just sells and within your local area or, within your comfort zone, but let's talk about creating an image, what it means to even break boundaries and go beyond where you are. So I hope to share a little bit with you about, a peep into the Asian market. So my name is Elizabeth Hor. I am a certified uh, image and color consultant, certified by the Association of Image Consultant International, CIC, and also I'm a Chartered Institute of Marketing. Founded my company, so I'm a CEO of Elizabeth Image Branding, as a NLP practitioner and also a DISC consultant. So pleasure to be with all of you today. And I founded my company in year 2014, Elizabeth Image Branding, and our mission statement, you know, the team, the whole team in Elizabeth Image Branding, we have one common goal, that is to inspire men and women to be bold and confident by helping them to discover their true authentic self, and also to empower all of the people that we meet to communicate that authenticity through their appearance and presence with power and influence through the mode of training, corporate training, public training, workshops, as well as personal consultation. And our belief, all our work are based on these two principles, that you and I are fearfully and wonderfully made. And not just that, we also spur everyone that we meet to find out, your purpose that you are created to do. And you are so unique that the purpose is only for you to fulfill. So we want to help and encourage and equip our clients to do that. So I've been really blessed to meet a lot of people during these 8 years of my industry in the image consultant. And in year 2018 and 2019, I've been awarded as the top influencing woman agent of change by the Malaysian Global Chamber of Commerce, and that I'm really, really proud to share with you. And last year, January, in year 2020, I started EIB International Academy of Image and Style, and that's where I recruit, students to come in and to be certified as a fashion stylist and image consultant. So with the team, we can do even more, because there's a saying that goes, if you want to do big things, you can do it alone. But if you want to do big things and go far, and touch more lives, you have to do it in a team. So the team at EIB really, with unity of hearts to reach out to more men and women. And on a personal note, I am a mom, a very proud mom to a 22-year-old young man, a fine young man. And his name is Ian. My son is Ian, 22 years old. He's studying psychology. And I'm really, really proud to be his mother. Also, a personal project and my dream, I started 11 years ago a nonprofit animal rescue and home called Second Chance Project. And we are doing rescue work to stray animals, cats and dogs as well. So that is a little bit about my personal life, and I would love and find that, it's an honor to share with you. So let's go into image consult. What is image? So if I were to ask you, what is your first impression when I talk about image consulting? Okay. You can type into the comment, and I would love to see, what is your impression, or what is your perception when we talk about image branding? Now, in my years of meeting so many clients, both corporate and personal, and I've asked this question, and many of them, when they first hear about image, I'm not sure about you, the audience with me today, but those people that I met often say, "Oh, image consulting. Are you into fashion? Are you into styling? Are you into makeup? Trends, perhaps. Fashion designing, perhaps." And I feel that is a big vacuum of understanding, a big gap of people, how they see image, because there are so much jam, there are so much in image consulting that people missed. So I would like to take the opportunity to share with you, when we talk about image and how I conduct image consulting, is a holistic approach that, it's just not about dressing or, how to style a client up, but you look from the aspect of, say, for example, building, right? Our image brand is, it can be equated to how you build a building, whether it's a single story house, whether it's a double story house, or whether it's a skyscraper, a few floors building. First thing and most important thing is that the foundation of the building. So even before you build, erect up, you have to drill down. And the stronger the foundation is, the more stable the building is. I mean, it's common sense. And this is how we approach image consulting or image management. That when we talk about helping a client to build his or her image, first we have to go deep. And the first level is identity. Do you know who you are? Okay, and you can't talk about image, how you dress up on the external, if that person do not know who they are. So identity is the core foundation of everything when we talk about image branding. And if you look at the slide, you will realize that once the identity is built and is strong, then you look at the holistic image. So now we go into the level 2, that is image presentation. Once the inside of you is sorted out, now we talk about the outside. How do you dress up? How do you convey, your brand value, your purpose, your calling, and who you are on the outside, right? So there comes the appearance and the gesture, and how people feel when they look at you. So that is the level 2 image presentation. And not just that, when we don't just stop there with knowing your identity and crafting a good appearance, but we go even deeper. And now we talk about the level 3, how you uh, you know increase or boost your influence in the social arena. Image is never about looking good, about yourself, but image has a lot to do with influence. So if people were to ask me, can you sum up image in just one word, I would say image is equipped to influence. Yes, image is all about influence. Influence in making a difference. Influence, may it be through offering your product and services, or training or coaching, if there are coaches here. Whatever you have to offer, it's all about influence. The ability to influence another person to buy your idea, to embrace your idea. And for that to happen, you need to have influence. And perhaps, if you want to increase the level of influence, then these are the 5 areas that you need to look into, right? So then, after social influence, then we talk about digital impression, because nowadays I don't need to meet you for the first time to have a positive impression of you. Say, for example, when a friend recommended me Billy Garcia, I don't have to wait until I meet him in person to curate my first impression of him, but I can Google him. I can Google, and from the social media to find out what I can find out about this person. And whatever I found out from the social media about Billy Garcia, or a master of marketing, that is my first impression. So if you can see the power of social media in conveying a powerful image for you, then it is no wonder that we need to spend a lot of time and effort into crafting our digital impression, right? And we can't kind of like complete the package of your image branding without even talking about emotional performance. I mean, I'm sure many of you who have met a lot of people that are nicely dressed, that they have very powerful social influence and connection, as well as powerful digital impression. But when you really meet them in person, emotionally wise, they are not poised enough, they are not controlled enough, they are not impactful enough. Uh, that itself, it will destroy someone's brand. All right. So when we talk about this, it is so important to look into all this holistic aspect of image. All right. So now we go into um, today's topic. What has creating an image that sells worldwide, doing business in Asia has to do with image branding. Yes, it has everything to do with image branding, because now we are talking about social influence. Um, and Asia is blooming. Basically, I can share with you this secret that Asia the economy in Asia comprises more than 4.5 billion people. That is almost 60% of the world population. And the business here are blooming. Okay. And what are some of the countries, just to introduce to you? Can you see that circle of, I made a circle of where I came from. Can you see the Malaysia? So the country that I come from consisted of a West Malaysia and East Malaysia. And I live somewhere on the northern side. There's a beautiful island very near to, the north of Malaysia is Thailand, and the south of Malaysia is Singapore. And these are some of the countries that are doing very well in economy. And one of the big powerhouse of kind of like, uh, head, the leader in the economy in Asia is China. So China is blooming. Singapore, Thailand, India, and Malaysia, as well as Philippines and Indonesia. So this is a land of opportunity if you are looking into wanting to expand and get out and reach out to more prospect and clients. So Asia may be, or not maybe let me paraphrase, Asia is the place to consider expanding your business. Okay. And Asia is a melting pot. If you understand and do a research of Asia, is a melting pot of different races, diverse races. We have in India, Indians, and in China we have the Chinese, we have the Thai and Indonesian, and Malaysian, and the races is diverse in culture and ethnicities, and even the languages are different. Um, for successful business, relationship in Asia, it is very important for you to understand which of the countries exactly is your target market, because knowing where you want to target, uh, you need to research how to understand more about the culture, because the culture is in India is totally different with the culture in China. The same with, even though in Malaysia I'm a Chinese, but I'm a Malaysian, and the culture is in Malaysia is also very different from China. So you need to understand the background and the culture. And so I want to take this opportunity. I may not have a lot of time, but in a quick glance in the next half an hour or so, to share with you a gist or the important elements to look into and to research and to study, or to equip yourself if you are considering expanding your business into the Asian country. First is to understand the culture. That is very important. Second, to familiarize with the different mannerism or the professional etiquette in Asia, because when you're talking about doing business in Asia, etiquette and professional mannerism is the utmost important. Um, It may be very different with the Western countries. I'm not sure in Mexico. Maybe later on, during the Q&A, I would like to ask Billy as well, what is the level of, professionalism or formality when you're doing business in Mexico? But what I can share with you that is in Asia, we put high regards in professional etiquette and mannerism. So this is one important area that you need to look into. And the third area that I want to share today is how you can some tips to leverage on the digital platform that is available. That is and that is the trend in Asia right now. So let's talk about culture, in Asia, because of the different races that is and the different countries in Asia. You're looking into different religion. We have a diversity of religion here in Asia. We have the Hinduism in India, and the Buddhism in different parts of many countries like Taiwan, Hong Kong, and China, and then we have Christianity and Islam as well, and many other races. So you need to understand the background of the religion, because let's say, for example, if you're doing business in Malaysia, then the national religion in Malaysia is Islam. Basically Malaysia is an Islamic country. So, and if you're doing business in Malaysia or even in Indonesia, you need to understand how the cultural behavior and the protocols that you need to observe. Say, for example, now, because of the pandemic, traveling overseas to do business in Asia is impossible. I mean, it is at a halt, but, a lot of businesses are done virtually. And, but, to understand what are some of the behaviors in Islamic country is that, say, for example, very interesting. I'm not sure whether you guys in Mexico knows this. Say, for example, if you are present in Malaysia and it is so common to shake hands, right? In different countries, say, in a normal, the art of greetings, is so common to shake hands. But in Islamic country, if you are greeting opposite gender, say, if you're a gentleman and you are greeting a Muslim lady, it is best not to extend your hand for a handshake. So how do you do it in Malaysia is that, you put your right hand on your heart and you bow, and that is the acceptable greetings in Malaysia, because in the Islamic culture, it is not permissible to be in contact with the opposite gender. If the Muslim lady is more on the traditional, traditional side. So these are some of the religious practices that you need to find out before coming to any part of these Asian countries. And not just religion, but Asian countries basically has high regards to tradition. And we put utmost importance on family. So if you're doing business and you want to advertise your business in Asia, my tips to you would be, capture the market or capture the psychology of include family inclusiveness. Like, let's say if you're promoting a product, how does this product give value not just to the buyer, but to the family or the community as a whole, if you buy this product or if you subscribe to a services. So, and in Asia, if we are convinced that you serve the family tradition, the being included in the family or the community, then you're one step ahead doing the business, or 50% successful in closing your business. So I'm sure in other parts of the countries, in Western countries, family is also very important. But it is really, really, one of the priority of doing business in Asia. Say, example, when we do business entertainment, we will invite your family and we will bring along our family for connection and engagement, so that we want to engage, we want to connect with not just you, the business person or the businessman or woman, but we want to know your family as well. So that is how Asian do business, right? So that's why in the next point that I put here is also relationship. So we put a relationship above business. So that is one thing that we hold dear to. So Asian business people tend to be more. If you want to do business with Asian people, um, ask them about their life. Make show them genuine concern and interest in them above closing the sales. Right. So these are some of the culture, and in most part of the country in Asia, uh, respect is one key thing. Right, we are brought up since young, Asian children, whether no matter what religion that you come from, no matter what races that you come from, we are brought up uh, heavily grounded into respect of authority, respect of our senior and superior, respect of older generation, older people that we meet, as well as our parents. So respect is one key thing. And in doing business, we want to be doing business with people who shows respect to us. And when I was preparing for this topic, I actually was this conversing with my son, and we talk about respect here. And my son, being in being a millennial generation, younger, he's 22, and then he just mentioned something that we broke into laughter. And then he said, Mom, make sure that you mention this in your talk to the global conference, to understand Asian more, that Asian really like face. So face is very important. And if you can tap into this secret, that you create opportunity where you help them to save face. All right. So and yeah, this is so important to, especially Chinese. Maybe not so in different in other cultures, but Chinese, if you're doing business in Taiwan, Hong Kong, or um, uh, in China, or even in Malaysia, Singapore, yeah, face and respect is very important. Okay, so let me see whether there's any question. Okay, I don't see any now. Second key thing is that, besides understanding the culture and the Asian culture and behavior, religious practices, this is the second important thing, that is etiquette and mannerism. As I mentioned just now, we are heavily, Asian children are heavily brought up to um, carry out, to be good manners when we are young at home, good manners, and when we go to school during the schooling years, and way out into adulthood, having a good manners reflects the dignity of the family. In Chinese, we have one saying that you behave well because it reflects on the reputation of the whole family. So we hold this uh, really seriously. So now, when we convert this understanding into doing business in Asia, and also more importantly, let me connect this into your image, your brand reputation, is that how you behave. So now we are going into deeper. Not just your image is not just how you look, but how you behave and how you make people feel, that is so important. So how do you greet people? So just now I was saying that, you must practice the right way of greeting people. If you're doing business in Japan, they bow, and you got to learn how to bow, and how many degrees in the bowing reflects different meaning. So the art of greetings, do you shake hands? Do you not shake hands? What is the correct practices, and how do you address people? uh, the art of introduction and the art of addressing your business counterpart is very important. Sometimes you may sabotage yourself in the failure of closing a big deal in your business. Lies in your sometimes not knowing how to address people in business. And also very important to know and learn the hierarchy and formality in doing business. Say for example, in many of the Asian countries like Korea, especially China, and even I can attest to, in Malaysia, in where I live. The hierarchy is very important. Say for example, if a CEO from a different company, of the CEO of your client's company, is coming for a meeting, you have to send the equal hierarchy of of ranking to to meet to that CEO. So a CEO will usually meet with a CEO and do business dealings. A manager level will meet with a manager. So this is very important in Asia. I'm sure they are more relaxed. In Western countries, you are more relaxed as long as you are the one in charge in this project. So you are sent to do presentation and to do the discussion. But in Asia, it's not. Okay. So, and also in mannerism uh, and protocol, proper etiquette, you need to look into your dress code as well when you're doing business in Asia. So you can see here, this is what we are normally practice. If this is a formal event, or we will put on a jacket, and we have this more formal attitude or behavior when we deal with uh, formal settings. Um, and and this is one thing that I also want to highlight, that is, you need to understand which of the age group that you are targeting your business to. Say for example, if you are in the creative industry, you may be targeting to the younger generation, maybe millennials, millennials. Yeah. So the way you dress can be more relaxed. But let's say if your target market are the baby boomers, or the X's, then you need to understand, in Asia, baby boomers, or the X's generation, like myself, we are more traditional, more conservative. So we are brought up to dress well. So even though if you're a millennials, but your target market are the baby boomers or the X's, then you may need to consider up level a little bit, in your dressing, in your appearance, because this is what many of the business people would expect. And one thing about Asian, uh, how to say, we are somewhat kind of like a judgmental, but I wouldn't want to use that word. But we really take high regards into how a person, dress up, whether, you really look into details of your dressing, whether you are meticulous enough, whether you put effort into your dressing, because that will translate into how serious are you in doing business, how meticulous are you, how much effort you will put into the business will be seen, or will be kind of like translated into your appearance. So it's very different in this kind of behavior in the Western countries, but Asia, we are still more on the conservative side. Okay. And the final point that I want to share is that, of course, there are so much that I want to share, but I have to speed up. And the third point is that how to leverage, because now since the post-COVID-19 era, doing business in Asia is more than possible. Maybe in the past, you need to consider the logistic and the costing involved in traveling and all this issues. But now with all the digital platform and especially post-COVID era, it is very possible. So do I highly recommend you to do research into how you can actually break into the Asian market through different digital platform. And if you want to understand a little bit of which platform would you look into, then you first and foremost is that which country are you looking into? Say for example, we are talking about, let's say if you're talking about China market, some of the e-commerce platforms are Taobao, AliExpress, Alibaba, and you can do research and find out how you can also penetrate into all these e-commerce platform. But if you are talking about going into India marketplace, reaching to the marketplaces in India, do research on Flipkart and Snapdeal as well. And from where I came from, Lazada and Shopee are utmost most e-commerce platform in Southeast Asia, and of course Japan, Rakuten. So let me share a little bit about where I come from in Malaysia, where we use Lazada and Shopee most of the time when we want to buy anything. So Lazada and Shopee are like all these, even Taobao and Flipkart and Snapdeal are like the Asian eBay. You can find almost anything, and the buying power is very high because people are buying a lot of things over online. So if you are providing um, products that you think can be of value to the Asian market, it is worthwhile to look into all these platforms, and not just products but services. Let's say if you have training, if you are a coach, and now one of the Asian behavior really goes into coaching and upgrading ourselves through online training. So it is a high time for you to consider how can you reach to the Asian market with your training available that you believe can give extra value to the Asian market, right? So, and not just what are the e-commerce platform, but I also want to share with you what are the visibility platform. Let's say if you want to be seen and want to be visible and promote and do some marketing of your brand and of your personal brand, whether it's a personal brand or corporate brand or your products. If you are in the corporate services, more formal services, do look into LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn are the professional platform to look into. And let's say if it's more of a lifestyle services, a lot of groups in Facebook that are offering coaching and trainings. Do tap into that as well. WeChat and Weibo is very in China, and then as well as I'm sure all the Instagram and TikTok as well. So these are some of the tips that I want to share with you, and I want to complete the my presentation today. Is your image is a message of who you are, a message of what you stand for, and what is the purpose of your life. We can actually see it through your image. Okay, the 5 holistic image, and not just that, your image is an expression of who you are. right? And finally, your image is an influence. So this is what I want to share with all of you today. And do subscribe to my page in Facebook, Elizabeth Image Branding, or just type on Facebook, LinkedIn, Elizabeth Hor, and you can reach me. So I just want to share that, and thank you so much.
En contraire, my dear friend. Thank you. We are really thankful with you, and sure you got questions, but we got these questions spread around these social media platforms, and I want you to answer this. Can we start with the
Okay.
questions?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, sure. Let's start with this. Okay, the first question we got here. Well, let me read some of our comments. And Tony Preda said, "Love it, extraordinary experience and topic, Elizabeth. Thanks for sharing." Okay,
Thank you so much.
Analia, Analia Siller, the business needs people who speaks and take actions with values. The most important, respect.
Yeah.
Okay, Luis Enrique, very, very happy to have you on this side of the world. It's quite rare having these kind of exercises here in Mexico or even in Latin America. So we are very, very glad to have you here. And let me read this question. What differences have you found between Asians and Latin Americans in terms of image? Are they similar or too different? What do you think about it?
Okay, thank you for the questions. Basically, as I shared just now, the Asian behavior or the Asian approach to image is we put a high regards on how you look. So from what I see, or maybe the limited information that I have about the Latin Americans are, you're more relaxed, you see. Yeah. And and um, uh, you also are, especially the Westerners, you are also brought up in a way that not to be concerned how people look at you. So in that sense, it gives you more liberty to express who you are through your dressings, and you don't have the need or pressure to impress people. But in Asia, we still are more conservative. We still look at your appearance, and very often we translate your appearance into how successful you are. So I just want to share this. In Malaysia, I'm not sure about other parts of the country in Asia, but in Malaysia itself, if you drive a luxurious car, so very often people will think that you are very successful in your business, right? So this is how we read into certain luxury items and your dressing. But of course, from the aspect of image consultant, I want to encourage people to be more authentic, and don't create an avatar that is not real. Yeah. So people, at the end of the day, we still want to do business with authentic people and real people. But nevertheless, it is important to remember that in Asia, your appearance are more, you need to up level a little bit to look the part, in formality and in serious. How serious are you to do business? So I hope that helps.
No, it helps a lot, and I think that you are looking at me right now, and that's what you say, that Latin Americans are more relaxed. So I'm quite bit crazy. So yes, yeah.
No
Oh,
right or wrong, because again, it's different culture that we come from. Yeah. So I can also share that the younger generations now, even in Asia, are adopting more the Western culture in our society right now. So they kind of like, what, I don't really care to impress a lot. I just want to dress up whatever is comfortable. But again, as I said, if you are trying to close a sales with a baby boomers kind of level, or the excess, maybe in the 40s or 50s, we still put a lot of emphasis onto your dressing.
Sure, sure, sure,
Mhm.
sure. In fact, those are my questions. I got three questions here for you so we can talk more about your topic today. Okay.
Okay.
The first one, it's really related about this kind of empowerment that image give it to us. Okay.
Okay.
The question is, do you think that this empowerment comes from the other people that it's looking at us, or the empowerment comes within us? What do you think?
You you hit the bullseye. All right. So um, what we are doing in Elizabeth Image Branding is that um, we want to encourage people to find empowerment from within yourself. That's why I put a lot of emphasis into uh, anchoring into your identity, because confidence and self-esteem comes from the realization and as well as clarity of who you are. Because when you discover who you are, you will find so much potential that you can offer, and that will gives you all the all the empowerment that and to achieve whatever that you want. But nevertheless, I cannot deny that many Asians are brought up to first seek approval, the external approval of another people. So, for many years ago, the older generations, basically, they live in this era of finding empowerment through approval. But now we are shifting, the Asian people are kind of like shifting into the realization and say, you know what? Um, we can't control what people think of us, and we can't wait for approval. And let's stop this approach and find empowerment through ourselves, and anchoring into your personal identity. That's why in Asia now we have a lot of all these motivational workshops, self-empowerment workshop, NLP workshops, to find values from yourself.
Right. It's really important to find your values. Now that this is within you. You can
Yeah.
find these values in other people. No, you can look you can look equal, or just like someone you know, but you are different in many ways. Okay,
Yeah.
and
but
and you were
but
talking
at the
about what?
But at the same time, Mr. Garcia, I also want to highlight. Let's say um, wanting to be authentic and finding the empowerment and value and individualism is important. At the same time, it is also important to understand, let's say the people that I am dealing with. Let's say if they have a different kind of values, and it happens that one of their value is a, a well dressed kind of a value. I would want to respect the person that I'm meeting, and I'm not. Denying who I am, or putting my individualism into the drain by dressing up a little bit, or dressing up not my normal way. But I would see it as I put in a lot of some effort to dress up what I normally don't do, in respect of the person that I am meeting. So it has to be equal. Understand what I'm saying?
Sure, and it's the ending of your keynote, this presentation. At the end, you said your image is it's a measure, it's a my tongue. Okay, it's a message. Okay,
Yeah.
so when you get a message on your dress code, you got to look forward between you and the people it's in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, and you were talking about these five things that are really important, more important about inclusive that your appearance, your clothes, your car, your wallet, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Five things: religion, tradition, family, relationships, and respect. These
Mm.
five things, I think that everyone in the world got these five things.
Mm.
So that's what I can recall about your presentation. And that leads me to the second question.
Okay.
Do you think that at some point we will be the baby boomers for the next generations?
Yes, karma is coming.
Karma is coming. We are being disrespectful with the older ones, and
Yeah,
maybe at some day. And what do you think about it? It's going to be
I think
true.
it's definitely, generation definitely evolving because, um, as far as I could remember when I was young, I used to detest how we have to behave, we have to, practice a certain manners and the restrictions that we have as a child, and I used to rebel because I say, why do we have to practice all that? Why do I have to, in Asian countries, you have to, let's say, if you are visiting a relative, and if that relative home has, let's say, 10 family members that are senior than you have to call 10 of them, so it's not just hi everyone, or good morning everyone. It's not just that. You have to call first uncle, first auntie, second uncle, second auntie, how are you, and third uncle, third auntie. If they have a children that is older than you, then you have to call them, in respect. So you have to call everyone. So I grew up in these settings, and I used to hate that. But now I'm in my almost coming up to 50s, and I have an issue with younger people who don't acknowledge their seniors. So it's like, and sometimes my son has to remind me, Mom, you remember what you say you do not want to happen, but now you're expecting the generation to do that because now we begin to understand how important respect is. So I'm sure when comes to your time, you are brought up in in certain way that you are comfortable now with, but when the younger generation, way younger than you, and when this generation come up, they don't see the value of what you're practicing now relevant to them anymore. So then you will see that, why are the younger people don't do what I'm trained or brought up to do. Yeah, so that's why I say, karma is always catching
it's
up.
it's always catching up, karma. And you were talking about these settings. I love this from Asian culture. In Japan, in Korea, Chinese people, they respect the elders. They got
Yes.
a great respect for elders and from other generations that no longer exist. So that it's really important from us to I don't know how to say this, but as Latin Americans, to understand and to reach this culture and learn from you.
Yeah.
Here in Mexico, I can share with you that our culture it's quite rich, and we got this acid or maybe like sarcastic humor, and we love to laugh about death, and even within that we can be like, sure, we are dead, let's celebrate that we are dead. And that's what other countries in the world are seeing about Mexicans. We are happy even in that. No, but that kind of sarcasm makes us being like we are disrespectful with others.
Mm,
No, and that's why it's so important to understand different cultures. When you
correct.
got someone from other culture in front of you, you got to respect the culture, even if you got to or this desire to be just like you are. It's a mix up.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
leads me to the well, you got another comment here. I am your fan and now you're a student.
Thank
No,
you so much.
you're getting fans here in Latin America, in Mexico. And
Thank you so much.
the last question for you is, what do you think in this perspective of image? What do you think of the generations that are trying to see themselves as the younger generation? What happens
That's
with this generation that it's older, but they want to look and behave like the younger generation?
I think from the image point of view, as an image consultant, I wouldn't say there is anything wrong with that. You see, I still go back to the element of presenting your image according to the right. I have this saying that I like to repeat that. You know, uh, have the right presentation at the right place at the right time with the right people and for the right purpose. So let's say if you are doing a business and you need to be intentional in your dressing, so do that. But let's say if I am not doing any business, not having need to be formal, I don't see anything wrong with that. Uh, you can dress up a little bit younger, but of course, always have dignity in your dressing, you know, or whatever expression that you want to give up. At the end of it, do you make an impact and influence, in the community or with the people that you mix with? So that is my ulterior utmost important when it comes to dressing. Again, in image, there's no right or wrong. You are free to express, but express the right thing at the right place, at the right time with the right people for the right purpose.
Sure,
Okay?
that's why we celebrate diversity. You got the freedom to express yourself. You got freedom to be whatever you want it to be. And I'm right that I write this down, the right image at the right time. I got a mistake there, but let me write this right. But it's it's the phrase. This is the quote for your presentation: the right image at the right time, at the right place, and with the right people. You
Yes.
you could use your freedom anything you want to be anytime. But
Yeah.
this is important, and that's why we are grateful with you, Elizabeth Hor. Receive all our love there in Malaysia. You were talking with me in backstage. Where do you live?
I live in Penang Island. So Penang Island is located up north in Peninsula Malaysia, and is a very beautiful island. I truly encourage, when the borders are open after COVID, do come and visit us in Penang Island. Is There's a lot of beach resort, and then there's hill in Penang Hill, and it is an island with rich culture. You will get to see a lot of cultural heritage buildings and with rich in history, and the people are friendly. So do come and visit us in Penang. So it is spelled,
Sure,
yeah, Penang, Penang. Just research and you'll see a lot of recommendation.
sure, and maybe someday I will be there. In fact, I was
Yes.
thinking about sending you a gift. I want to send you my book, but I need to know if Amazon Japan can deliver there where you live.
Let me find out.
If you
I'm
find
sure.
this out, I will send this gift to you. Uh,
Thank you
and,
so much.
and let me tell you one more thing. Today, this is quite a challenge for me. When I was organizing this event, this congress, I think about having a challenge. And for me today, this presentation was quite a challenge because I was never able to be talking in English like this in any other presentations I had. So today I'm grateful you got a friend here in Mexico. Today you join our family from Loquillos. You are a Loquillo right now. What? Loquilla in
Yeah.
Spanish. And we are sending all of our love to you. And you said on your keynote that face is really important for you. So this is
For
going to
Asian,
be this is
for the
going to
Asian,
for Asians, sure, for the
yeah.
culture. So in in so many ways, I want to thank you, and one way is this. So this is the first one presentation that I'm not going to leave with mask. I want to thank you and tell you that the marketing will be always with you. So thank you,
Thank you
and
so much.
now to rest. Have some rest because it's really late at night for you. And again, thank you and see you soon on the future. Okay?
Thank you, everyone, and
See ya.
goodbye.
Love you. Bye.